just me. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I've been suffering from hay fever, and today I think I have like a sinus infection. Got my hair cut today, that's about it. I haven't been out really, other than a couple times, and both are very subpar. And I do like to try to deliver you guys some quality content, so I'm constantly trying to fix things. Don't mind the fridge, it's messy. But what I decided to do today is I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy, down and dirty electrolysis thing. What we're going to be using is with Walmart and got a phone charger. It's a 2.1 amp, no more than 5 volts, and it has a cord, and we're going to kill the cord. So most people, if you have a cord, you don't have to go to Walmart, but I just wanted to buy this because make it easy, you know. Other items you'll need for making one of these, you will need a plastic tub, some sort of metal anode. I'm using a piece of bent mild steel. I've used this before for electrolysis in the past, but I like this because it's a lot of surface area, so it really sucks the impurities off. And I set that in my bowl. Some wire, if you have some scrap wire. And if you go down to your local Harbor Freight, get a couple alligator clips. They come in like a pack of 100 or something like that. And you'll be going through these if you do a lot of electrolysis, because they will corrode and fall apart. It's another reason why I use some extra wire instead of just off of this wire here, because this will eventually corrode and fall apart. Alright, so let's get down to it. I did forget, on top of all this stuff, you'll want a set of wire strippers and clippers. I have these ones. They work good for me. Some scissors, and I got some heat shrink that I'm going to use. So let's get started. Scissors are mainly for opening the package. Let's get this thing open. Cue high speed. All right, we have it open. We get this little twist tie off. Throw that off to the side, and we have a 3-foot cable. Ish, not really 3 foot. That's okay. So let's read this. This is going to be putting out 5 volts DC at 2.1 amps. 2.1 amps. It looks like this is not a swap outable, so this is 110 volt AC. Take this end. And mazel tov, it's a boy. Yep, just cut that off. Don't need it. Then you'll want to strip the outer layer of wire, which can be kind of tricky. Pull that outer layer off of insulation. You'll have the shielding. The shielding is an EMI shielding. It keeps, when you're doing a data transfer to your phone, that's what keeps your phone from getting any electronic static or noise. And there's a little ground wire there. That little ground wire goes from this to that. That's also part of the anti-static feature. All right, when you open it up, you'll see there's different wires here. Red, green, yellow, and black. Red and black are normally your power wires, but we're going to double check that. So I'm going to go grab a multimeter. If you know how to use a multimeter, then you're good here. If not, I'll show you how to use it real quick. So let me turn that shielding off, and I'll get right back to you. 1 sec. All right, so what I've done is I went ahead and stripped a little bit off these wires. We're gonna double check to see which one has power coming out. So, got a multimeter. I got it set to, I'll put it to 10 volts here. This is just a cheap multimeter from Home Depot or Walmart or whatever, like $5. Got our cord here. Set this over here. Plug it in. I have a surge protector next to me, 110 volt AC. Plug that in. No wires are touching. Just because I think I'm correct, we're going to go red to black. There's red and black, and we're showing 5 volts output DC. You can see it right over here. So, one more time. 5 volts output. Okay, and green and white, nothing. Red and white, red and green, nothing. Red and white, nothing. Black and white, nothing. Black and green, nothing. So there we go. So we'll cut off the red and green, or the white and green, and go from there. So let me unplug. Put this off to the side. Turn it off. This guy's on an auto off. And take the green and white, just like that, and snip it. Don't eat them. All right. So now here's the thing. On here, black is negative. All right, this is going to be important. And red is positive. Let's get these wires all tied up here. That's an important thing to know. I'm going to grab a couple pieces of shrink wrap right now, or heat shrink. Go with blue because that should fit on there too. Yep. That way we can cover our conductors. Normally I would solder this, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to solder because it's going to take too long. Alright, so we take our extra wire here. It's just standard 22 gauge wire. You can get this also at Home Depot or Lowe's. And we're just going to take a few feet of it and make some leads out of it, just some pigtails. So about 2 feet, cut it. Take it, measure it in half, just because I like everything to be equal. Just cut it. And let's strip this end. So go to the 22 gauge slot. Actually go 16, that'll work better. One. They have automatic stripper crimpers out there too, but for some reason I like those ones. Twist them down. We'll stick one on our negative lead. Twist it up really good. Like I said, normally I would solder this, but we're just doing this really quick and easy. So anybody could do this. Slide a piece of heat shrink over so our conductors aren't touching. You don't want any conductivity going on back there. And this side here, we'll go to the red. It's a hot day today. My hay fever has been really kicked up today, and I've been sweating my tail off. In fact, we're going to turn that off. It's a beautiful thing about this kind of wire. It's very easy to trim. You can use scissors. And we'll slide this piece of heat shrink over. You want to go the other way. Just like that. And I'm going to go get something to heat that up. So give me 1 second. Normally use a heat gun. I'm going to use a lighter. Yeah, so out in the aircraft world, we call this the BIC 1000. And that's good enough for government work there. And normally I use a Raychem heat gun. I have one at work. There, that part's done. Now, alligator clips. These are fun because, once again, strippy. I strip a little extra off. And what I do with mine, with these alligator clips, because these are cheap, I leave a lot of wire hanging off. We got to back this out, which, it being from Harbor Freight, means it's not tight. So I don't have my handy dandy little screwdriver with me right now. I know where it's at. I am recording. But back this little screw out. Like it's not going to. Oh well. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat. Let's go ahead and split this case apart. like so. Stick this through the hole here. There's a little hole up there. All we have to do is get conductivity. And the volts are so low on this, you're not going to shock yourself. You'll feel a mild tingle if you do get something, but it ain't going to kill you. We'll just wrap that around there, just like so. Stick the wire up through the hole. Let's just crimp this thing together here. Let's do that. Okay, just like that. We have conductivity and whatever we need. Tuck that up inside there. Like I said, this is just down and dirty and easy. So let's get this other one done and we'll see what we can do. Okay, here we go. So we have our negative, we have our positive, and we can run off a USB power source. So let me get this thing started here and I'll show you what we're going to do. Clean up my mess. Alright, I'm back. This is how I make my electrolyte. I just get some baking soda. Well, you can use name brand, store brand, doesn't matter. And just put about a tablespoon and a half in there. Doesn't have to be much, just a little bit. And then get some hot water. Pour that in. That's going to be enough. Let's get it fully diluted. I probably have too much in there, but yeah, the more the merrier. But I think this is going to make a good electrolyte. We just keep stirring it until it clears up. Then we know all the baking soda is absorbed in there. You can use washing soda. Do not use baking powder. Some people use salt. I like baking soda. Just like some people use stainless steel as their anode. I prefer mild steel because mild steel doesn't make hexavalent chromate, which is bad for you when you use it as an electrolyte anode or electrolysis anode. Alright, so we got that going. I put a chunk of steel in there. So you see that? Cool. Alright, I'm back. Okay, the coin that we're going to use in this is this little coin here. I dug this in Korea. Looks like a Office of Military, whatever it is, Department Military coin. It's dirty, as you can see. I don't know, here. And we're going to throw that in the electrolyte. So, got my power source. Got my plugs. My positive, which is the red wire, is going to go over here. You notice I have not plugged anything in yet. My negative is going to go to my coin. And we're just going to drop that in the water. And the way that we know that we have this hooked up correctly is the coin's going to bubble and the metal is not over here. So, which one's bubbling? Our coin is a bubbling. So, here we go. I'll zoom in on that. See the bubbles? But it looks like I have more bubbles coming off of the anode than the electrode. So, I might flip-flop and see how that looks. Alright. Oh yeah, the coin's really bubbling now. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. No, you got it. Oops. All right, we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. While this thing's cooking, I just want to take this opportunity to give a shout out to my friends over at Kellyco for, especially for, spotlighting me as Detectorist of the Month. I feel bad because I haven't been out too much this month. I guess look at my face; it's all red. Yeah, it's like 72 degrees in my house, and I'm sweating. But yeah, we had a lot of rain, a lot of flooding and stuff earlier on this year. I mean, if you all watched news, Oroville Dam, I live just below it, a few miles now, south downstream. So we're still watching that. Hopefully that doesn't have any issues. But with all that rain, well, a lot of stuff decided to bloom. So everything's pretty, but for us people that are massive allergy sufferers, not a good time. But if you're a metal detectors, it's a perfect time to go out. So you can imagine my frustration. So that's why I'm doing this video. I thought I'd do a little how-to use a little electrolysis with a homemade kit. I like focusing on things that we have laying around our houses because it falls under the whole reduce, reuse, recycle type thing. I like turning everyday objects into something else. So, like taking a phone charger, it's a micro USB by the way, and turning it into an electrolysis unit. Why not? I was making some for a while that had a little switch and had a little thing that you plugged in, but I think this is a better route. I still would love to put a switch box in there just so you know it's on and off, but for my unit I actually just use a surge protector with a switch right next to me, so everything should be fine. But it's cooking pretty good. But yeah, go on to Kellyco, check them out. I'm still reviewing that Note to AU Gold. I'll be taking it with me to a special place come the end of June, and we're going to try to get some gold with it. And this is, I mean, no messing around, completely serious. If I can't find gold in this place with this machine, then yeah, I think you can figure out what I would say. But however, if it works good in this location, I think there's a niche up there, and it would save a lot of people a lot of money, because that machine is pennies on the dollar versus my lab machine. So anyhow, but yeah, thanks Kellyco for showcasing me. This a little guy here in Northern California, have a little over 500 subscribers, and I thank every single one of you for subscribing. If you're new and you're watching this, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Sometimes I have some cool stuff. Sometimes it's something like this. Sometimes it's a bummer hunt. But that is the life of metal detecting. You find gold, you can find silver, and you can find a lot of, well, shotgun shells. My favorite. But hey, sometimes you do find the gold. Sometimes you find the good stuff. Stuff I also find, which is cool, watches. This here I found in Korea, the country of Korea, on a mountain trail. It still works. Too bad I can't find a band that'll actually fit it. This is a cheap Walmart band. But no, this is a cool watch. If you watch further back in my videos, there's one in Korea that I did with this watch. This is a presentation watch from the president of Korea. They like to give watches out to people when they visit. So like a village dignitary or a political person, depending on your rank, is the quality of watch. This is a mediocre quality, so it's probably like, you know, an elder from a village. I still think it's cool. The face itself is gold plate or foil, but the rest is brass and stainless. But hey, I'm probably the only person in the United States who has a watch like this. So, I mean, I love finding stuff like that. Other things we find: pottery. I use the pots to carry stuff in, like pipe bowls. This is a repaired pipe bowl. Pipe bowl and a brass piece. There's all kinds of little nitnoid junk things that can be found out there, and I think that everybody should go out there and you know, just have a good time, spend the summer. So let's we'll check this coin out here in just a second. Okay, I'm gonna stop this, flip you back around, and we'll see what's going on here. All right, so we got a lot of bubbles going on down there. Should we take it out and have a look? It's been another 5 minutes, so let's see. At least that's how long I was gabbing in that one clip. Let me zoom you out so we can see this. Oops, my belly. All right, let me shut this down. We'll have a look. A quick rub. This one here is probably going to need an overnight cook. But you can see that crud coming off of here. It's actually helping. So we're going to cook that for a little bit longer, probably overnight, and see how that turns out in the morning. So, stick you back down under. Excuse me. And turn you back on. There we go. We'll give it a few hours. Let's see how it looks. Okay. I won't bore you with this part. Okay, it's been about a half an hour now. Let's see how it looks. Turn it off. Pull it out. And start to see some of the brass showing through, which is good. All right, this is the next day on this coin. And believe it or not, this is a lot better than what it was. You can see some of the bronze color coming through. We flip it over, and the mint mark and the series is a lot more pronounced. So that's probably all I'm going to do to that one. If I leave it in there any longer, it's going to start turning like purple. But that's a quick and easy, down and dirty, USB powered electrolysis. Now y'all know how to do it. Have fun with it. Good luck out there.